What's up, guys? Welcome to part 2 of how to build a base. That is what I'm calling this video mini series here. So we're going to get right into it here, back into edit mode, and pretty much this is just going to be more focused on the trophy pushing base and talking about where to put defensive towers. Obviously this is a farming base, as I previously unpacked and kind of went over it. But the idea behind a trophy pushing base and trophy pushing in and of itself is the exact opposite of farming. Pretty much your only interest is trophies, and anything else, resources, they don't matter. Pretty much enough elixir to train the next army, but that's not even a mandatory part. You want to attack someone who has a lot of cups that you could maybe, 2-star, and obviously ideally 3-star. The idea behind the base itself is the town hall is not outside the walls. You're trying to conserve as many trophies as you can. Instead, it will be in the very center of the base, and you'll be trying to get as many defensive wins as possible. So your defenses will be set up in such a way to accomplish that end. So as for the defensive tower placement, the way I have everything set up here is actually pretty close to how I'd set it up if it was a trophy pushing base. Obviously, I would not be quite as worried about protecting my resources as I am now, although they probably would be set up very similar to where they are with this base, just because that's a good place to put them. They're kind of out of the way. They're not really towards the middle too much, so they're not in the way of anything you might need to put there. Obviously, this is a farming base, and so I couldn't just, move out a few things and put the town hall in the middle. I would do a total base redesign. I've had a few pretty good, Town Hall 8 farming bases that were Town Hall 8 trophy push bases, which were pretty effective. I do not feel like redesigning one for you guys right now, so I'm just going to kind of go over defensive placements, and you guys can apply that to your trophy pushing base. So pretty much, you'd start off with your town hall, obviously right in the middle. You can put it in its own segment, you can put it with some other things, it doesn't really matter, but as centralized as possible. Supercell gives you that nice little right in the center like dot thing, as you can see, so you want to put your town hall pretty much right on top of that and build your base around it. So defensive towers, I'm going to kind of go through and tell you where you want to put individual defensive towers for really any base, and obviously especially around your town hall for your trophy pushing base. So I'll start off with the clan castle. As I kind of said in part 1 of this mini series, you want that in the middle as much as possible so they can't draw out your troops. As you can see, the effective range of this clan castle is well inside my base, so they can't spawn troops right inside the circle and draw my troops out. They actually have to engage the base. So you want that as centralized as possible. Make it as hard as make it as hard as you possibly can for them to draw your troops out. Same idea with the Barbarian King. As for the mortars and the air defense, that you pretty much want to put them kind of in the same general setup. I know you get the 4th air defense at Town Hall 9, and when you would get that, you'd want to put them more in like a square shape, but when you only have 3, you want to put them in this nice triangle shape in the center of the base. As you can see, my air defenses are at least one segment of the base, one compartment inside towards the middle. This one is actually in the very middle of my base. This makes it much harder for flying units to come and take out your air defense, and chances are they'll probably just skip the base if they can't get to them too easily. If they have like a Balloonian or something, they could drop rage spells on the bottom part, but you still have that one, and it would be really difficult to get anything more than 1 star on this base with a strictly aerial unit composition. Giant healers, same thing. It would be very difficult to get to these air defenses without your healers dying right away. So this base is set up really well against aerial attacks. The triangle shape simply gives you the largest spread possible for your air defense ranges. As you can see, the circles cover literally the entire base, and the same idea applies to the mortars. You want to put them in that nice triangle shape, and you only ever get 3 mortars, so the triangle shape is pretty much what you want to do all the way up through Town Hall 10. The triangle, again, just gives you the largest spread possible in your base, and as you can see, my mortars cover literally the entire base and just about all of the outside buildings as well, so that is my mortars are very effectively placed. You will notice the red circle, the red inner circle there, like right in there. That is the minimum effective range of your mortars. If units get inside that, if enemy units get inside that circle, your mortar can't shoot at them. And so this means you want to put the mortars in towards the middle as much as possible. A good rule of thumb that I like to follow is at least one compartment inside the base, just like the air defenses. As you can see, the air defenses and mortars are set up in the exact same way, just opposite of each other. So they are both the air defenses and the mortars are very well placed. Melee units are especially effective against the mortars because they can get inside that minimum effective range, and then they can't shoot at them. So you want to keep them as close to the middle as possible because they are a very heavy hitter. Their splash damage deals a lot of damage to a lot of units at once, and they are very effective against the enemy's infantry troops, and they will take out some giants pretty quickly as well. But again, if the melee units get inside the range or the red circle, they can't shoot at them, so you want to keep them in the middle as much as possible. The wizard towers, in my opinion, are your best defensive tower. They deal splash damage, and they deal more damage faster than the mortars do, but their range is also very restricted. So it's kind of difficult to know where to place these guys, because you might want to put them, in the middle. You might want to put them, I don't know, around your town hall. I don't know how you think you want to put them, but you can really put them wherever you want. That's the nice part, because they don't have that minimum effective range. So they're a very effective unit, and you can put them pretty much anywhere, really. Actually, I think I'm gonna do a little bit of base redesign here as I talk, but you want to kind of spread them out. You get another one at Town Hall 9, and then you can kind of put them in, the box shape, kind of like your air defenses. But at Town Hall 8, you only get 3. Town Hall 7, you only have 2, and then 6 you have, or 5 and 6 you have 1, I think. But they are really effective units. I really like putting them like closer to the outside, but because then they can deal damage, early on, and you kind of, I don't know. I know you can get to them easier that way, but I also think that they are really effective in stopping wall breakers or melee units or like the infantry units from attacking the walls, because they can deal that splash damage and they can take out the wall breakers all at once if they're in range. And so I kind of like putting them on the outside, and I'd rather have them on the outside than the mortars, because the mortars do have that minimum effective range and the wizard towers don't. Another advantage with the wizard towers is they do have a air or ground ability to attack, so that makes them double effective. Same with the archer towers, but their reduced ranges, they only have 7 tile range, which is a little bit annoying because they can't really cover your whole base. As you can see, my little range circles don't quite overlap in places, especially the top part here between these two between these two wizard towers. You have that air defense that would be outside of the coverage of either, and you can kind of come in like the top here and go straight down without having wizard towers attacking you on either side. So that's kind of annoying. That's why some people like to centralize them a bit more, so they cover more of the inside of the base. But like I said, I prefer to use them kind of as like a shock trooper almost, and take out the defenses take out the attackers early, and you really use them to clean up some of the infantry units. So yeah, that's pretty much the wizard tower. The archer towers and the cannons are pretty much your run-of-the-mill generic defensive tower. You can put them wherever you want, and they will still do an effective job. Generally, I like to put them around my Springtrap choke points, because then they will draw in the giants, and they are more expendable than maybe your wizard towers. The only reason I have this one here, I would prefer to have this wizard tower where this mortar is, if I could put it anywhere. But like I said, I would rather have the mortar in the middle and the wizard tower on the outside, just because of the minimum effective range of the mortar. So that's just where that guy's going to have to sit for now. Cannons and archer towers. The archer towers I think are more effective because they're both air and ground unit, or can attack both air and ground units, but really they have the same amount of hit points per second, and they have the same exact range. Or no, excuse me, I think the archer tower actually has a little bit larger range. So you can pretty much put them wherever you want. Generally around the outside of the base to leave the inside for your more important defenses, mortars and air defenses. But that's pretty much how you want to set up your defenses like where you want to place them in regards to your base. If you're trophy pushing, obviously you want to put your town hall in the middle and arrange your defenses so they defend the town hall as best as they possibly can. If you're looking to preserve resources, then obviously you want to put your defenses in a way that preserve the resources as best as you can. As you can see, where I have a storage in each place, I have like 4 or 5 defensive towers sitting around that storage, defending it. So I mean, really, it's really difficult if you just want to like send in wall breakers and goblins or something to get to just my storages, because of all of the defenses I do have around and overlapping the storages. So this is kind of how you want to set up the defenses in regards to a farming base. If it was a or if it was a trophy pushing base, like I said, you'd put them around the town hall to defend the town hall as best as possible. So that'll pretty much wrap it up for this mini series. I will be doing how-to army compositions as well. I don't know when I'll start that one. I'll probably do a giant healer. I'm really good with giant healers. Balloonian I'm good with, so we'll be doing some of that. I know I don't have BAM in either this or part 1, but I figured that these videos are more informational rather than, you know, like a gameplay type of series, so I thought it would be appropriate to, you know, exclude BAM from these videos, but all my other ones will still have BAM like I promised. So Let's Play episode 4 or 5, I forget which one we're on now, will be coming out along with Road to Town Hall 9 series episode 3. So that's what you guys can look for. Oh, I didn't save my changes. Oh well, I'll do it later. That's what you guys can look for in the near future. I hope you enjoyed this little mini series. I hope it was helpful to you, and I will see you guys later.